Khan Shalom. All praises to Yahawah, Yahawashi, Bashim Kakadash, the honest study apostles and elders of Greatmillstone, and salutations to the hopeful electors pushing this truth in sincerity. I want to show you what is taking place in America right now. You know, you got this whole huge increase of fentanyl, opioid addiction. You know, and you go into to San Francisco, this city, the Golden City. You know, even, what is his name? Tony Bennett had a song about it, right? I left my heart in San Francisco. And I believe Tony Bennett was also a faggot or a bisexual. So, we're going to focus on the madness that is taking place in America, man. America is truly in a terminal state. You know, it is close to just completely dying off. It's so sick. The people are sick, and it's not gonna get better. The only solution for this sickening or sickness that is actually waxing worse on this earth is the destruction by the way of fire. So this clip is gonna show you what is taking place, because these druggies receive all type needles, all type stuff so that they can continue with their wickedness. And of course, one might say like, yeah, it's better that they can get these things instead of using needles and all those things with all those diseases. This is not a solution. This is not the solution for the problem. This is not only keeping it keeping it going, but it's also promoting it, man. They don't get the help which should be given unto those druggies in order to relieve them or to conquer that demon, those demons, man. Because an addiction is actually a demonic entity that is controlling them, man. Let me just play. I got a couple of clips. I'm going to play those clips. I'm going to grab scriptures. Lord willing, this will be edifying.
I'm going to go right in here in the San Francisco harm reduction site, and I'm going to see what kind of paraphernalia they're giving out today. They gave me a whole box of syringes. This is a whole box of syringes. Those are a whole box of syringes. I mean, literally for free. You can't even get a plastic straw in San Francisco, let alone they're just giving away as many needles as you want. I have Narcans. I have these sanitary cookers. I have tie-offs to tie off your arm. I came out with saline water, clean saline packages to cook the dope with. These are to hold, these little tie-offs are to hold these like this. You twist it around there so you don't burn your hand while you're cooking the dope.
Anybody can just come into this place and grab these bags full of equipment.
For free. And little cotton swabs to suck the dope up through. I asked them what this was for. This is a new one that they're giving out, these chopsticks, and they said it was a pusher for a glass pipe so you could push your crack inside the pipe more. Brillo pad to filter the crack in the pipe. Then they give you these straws, right? And these mouthpieces for the meth pipe. The most alarming thing was I asked where I could go to get some help to get clean. What program can I get into right now to get clean and off the streets? And they had no idea.
Because that's not the agenda. The agenda is not to relieve or to save people or to cause them to conquer this addiction. The agenda is we're going F them up, we're going to fuck them up, and we're going to push them to the usage of more and more drugs. Look at the situation, man. This is again San Francisco, the city, aka the Golden City. This ain't golden. You got San Francisco activists, exposers, bus stops hijacked as open-air drug markets. You got kids passing this place, man. Getting off the bus and witnessing these druggies on the street, zombified, laying, hanging, just completely dead. This is insane. Let's check this out.
After I made the video down here with the children, it created such a ruckus that they put up these fences, like kind of like, again, a grandstand to try to act like they were going to do something. And I actually almost fell for it. I was like, oh man, we're having a policy change. We're going to be doing a little bit better out here. And it just didn't turn out like that. It's just back to the business as usual. As soon as Brooke Jenkins got elected, it's like she should carry her spot, so who cares? And it's kind of sad that these neighbors have to be sandwiched in between 8th and Mission and 7th and Mission. Both bus stops are basically being hijacked by drug dealers and drug users, and it's turned into like one of the biggest open-air drug markets here in San Francisco. And this is a main corridor for San Francisco. This is not like some back alley or like some shoddy part of town. I pay $2,500 a month for a studio apartment in this area. This is not acceptable, in my opinion, that I should have to live like this or deal with this when I come outside to walk my dog or to see a family member. My family members don't even really like to come down here and see me because of the crime. You'll see some of the drug dealers, they're being wearing masks and ponchos.
Hey, but you also got to understand, like, if you're making money over the selling of this type of stuff towards people, the destruction of the people by the way of this type of drugs, this is hey man, you got crack cocaine, but this stuff you got that lace, that Flakka, that K2 type of synthetic weed. You got the fentanyl, you know, what is that other stuff, crocodile, the meth, crystal meth. Like, yo, people are so lost that they are willing to sell this type of stuff and make money over the destruction of other people, man. And these people are using it because if you're in the streets, they're homeless, you know, they're distressed, they're without the basic things that you need. So the only thing that a person is longing after is something to numb the pain, to forget that you're in this state, to be completely gone, you know, disconnected from the world. You don't consider, you don't think. You just look at these people, man, when they are zombified and hanging like a zombie. Those people are totally out somewhere, man. It's hey. Let's go on, man.
This is the bus stop that I filmed the children getting off. It's kind of rough right here to get off the bus. I mean, it's a lot of homelessness, a lot of drug dealing going on. It's kind of sad, you know. You see this type of stuff. You see the San Francisco police paddy wagon parked right there, but you won't see anybody in the back of that van, and you won't even see the police out here doing their job. I mean, we just walked through one of the biggest open air drug markets here in San Francisco, and you'll see these people just out there selling and smoking drugs.
So this was the piece.
How I grew up.
Children stepping off the bus, and these children have to witness this. This is insane, man.
Come on, man.
Hey, that's so messed up, man. And it is only waxing worse, man. It's not getting better. Like, check this out. You got this thing called Tranq. Check this out.
On streets around our country, Xylazine, also known as Tranq, has been detected in drug supplies across 36 states and D.C. This according to the Journal of Analytical Toxicology. Now, that drug meant to tranquilize large animal, cattle, horses. It is extremely dangerous and even deadly for humans and causing scenes like this one. People using the drug seen in a zombie-like state, hunched over, sometimes unable to move, causing their skin to eventually erupt in ulcers, flesh to rot, even leading to amputation.
Wow.
Joining me now to talk about Tranq is the lead technician and drug checking program manager for the Chicago Recovery Alliance, Dr. Taylor Wood. Doctor, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Doctor, why would dealers be cutting meth, heroin, and fentanyl with Tranq if these are the kinds of consequences?
Well, fentanyl is you know, in under 2 hours, you know, they would use Tranq to extend that high, that experience. So it in essence allows people to have a little more relief for a little bit longer. The issue is that it just causes, you know, disastrous harm to the body, and we're now beginning to see that in a very large way, especially since it's been circulating, at least in Illinois, within our supply since 2020. And we don't know if it's recently expanded, you know, in dosage and in prevalence, or if using these new Xylazine test strips, if we've been able to just more readily identify it. We're uncertain which one that is, but now we can argue it's about 33%.
Doc.
So, and you gotta understand, like when they ask a question like, why would a drug dealer mix this and create this? You gotta understand that there's a whole agenda behind this. This is not just no a drug dealer that comes to the idea like, okay, let's just mix this. This is the government. The government is behind the pushing of these type of things towards the people, you know? And the people are being made addicted. They're pushing it, and they're destroying the people, man. The same thing as all those kingpins where they're talking about and that they big up, you know? All those established kingpins were established by the CIA. There was continually a coalition between those established drug dealers and the government. When we even speak about the biggest pushers of coke or the biggest sellers of coke, we're talking about the government. How did the drugs ended up in the hood when our people were forced into the ghetto? You know, after all the hell that our people went through and still go through, who's the one responsible for the pushing of the crack cocaine, the heroin towards our people in the hood? Our people couldn't move and shift or transport all that drugs towards the hood, the government. So the same thing is taking place right now. All these synthetic, all these type of drugs that is being pushed towards the people is taking place by the government. This is all because of the establishment. This is agenda, man.
At this point, do we know where it's coming from?
Not at this time,
No.
although it is fairly peculiar that it is kind of proliferating all of the supplies, like supply chains, at least opioid supply chains throughout the nation, kind of almost...
Man, don't talk, man. Don't talk. We know who is behind this. This is Edom, the devil. The devil that the Bible speaks about. We ain't stupid, man. Let's just jump a little bit. I'm gonna grab scriptures.
Fentanyl epidemic has tightened its grip on addicts. Now opioids mixed with a growing threat that is turning people into what some are calling living zombies. In Philadelphia, zombie-like addicts, their slumped bodies covered with sores, literally causing their limbs to rot. It is all caused by an animal tranquilizer that's being mixed with opioids. It's called Xylazine. The street name for this is Tranq. It can be deadly, and Narcan is not effective against it. Joining us now, Community Health Services Advisor Kevin Dahlgren. Kevin, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So this zombie drug is estimated to be in 90% of street drugs in Philly at this point. It has already been found in other big cities like New York. How soon do you think it will be that this is going to take over illegal street drugs across the country?
That's a very good question. I will say I spoke with my colleague in San Francisco yesterday, and he said there's already 4 confirmed deaths. So it is actually reaching the West Coast. Tranq we've heard about for a long time on the East Coast, but it's relatively a new phenomenon on the West Coast. But it makes complete sense because, for example, fentanyl, while it's highly addictive, people build a tolerance towards it. And when you build a tolerance, you need to find stuff to add to it to make it last longer and be stronger. And so that's why Tranq was introduced to this. And of course, the question is, where does this end?
If the risk of death is present at worst, or losing a limb and being riddled with sores at best is not stopping people, what will it take to change what's happening right now?
That's an excellent question because these addicts aren't unable to help themselves. They've lost critical thinking and rational thought. It is up to us as a community to go out onto the streets, be assertive, and help these individuals, right? And that means change in our outreach approach. Stop waiting for them to come to us. Stop waiting for them to ask for help, which, by the way, is, at least on the West Coast of the United States, the rule. You have to wait for them to ask for help. Well, guess what? They're not going to. We need to go to them and tell them to their face, this is killing you, and then having the services available help them, which means detox, recovery, residential, and then eventually shelter and permanent housing.
Ain't gonna happen, man. Hey, straight up, man, it's not going to happen. And he may say, like, we have to go to them. Do you know how much people will be needed in order to fix this disease? Because it is a disease. It's an opioid epidemic or pandemic, however you want to call it. There are so many people addicted, so many people homeless, so many people in a state that they truly believe or feel or view this as an outlet for all the hell that they go through. So this is not going to change. And as I already showed on the clip from World Star, guy shows how much free drugs, how you call this, paraphernalia, they received. So there's not even a program. There's not even he mentioned, like, there's not even a place where you can go to in order to be saved or in order to be helped from your addiction. But there are multiple places where you can get your needle, where you can get all your syringes and all the stuff so that you can shoot up this thing inside of you. So what does that show you? It shows you that the promotion, the stimulants of the usage of this drug is stronger than the possibility of people getting help in order to conquer this addiction. That is what it means, and that is what you can see. You know, I want to show you one other clip, and then we're going to jump into scriptures. This one goes in onto a cannabis company says they got Health Canada approval to sell cocaine. So now you can't make this thing up, man. Now they even have a license. This is in Canada, right? They have a license to make cocaine to a certain amount and then sell it to the people. That mind, like, hey, if we go sell the cocaine, if there's any cocaine being delivered towards the people, we will be the one, you know, which the government always did. The government always did it. So, but what type of cocaine will be manufactured over there? What type of cocaine will be pushed towards the people, and what will be the effect of the people using it? You have, man, you're going to see more crazy stuff. And what is it that they will say? Yeah, it's not the cocaine that is linked from us because our cocaine is pure. It must be the cocaine that they're still buying from the dealers or getting from other places. Like, you know, you can already understand how it will go, because if you're talking about a cocaine lab manufacturing, and you're talking about we want to help people with conquering this addiction by giving them a certain amount and helping them with, man, that is not the solution for a problem. And you're feeding actually a demonic desire. You're feeding the demon. You know, let me just play this, man.
In a nondescript looking industrial park in Langley, you're looking at what's intended to be British Columbia's first legal cocaine lab. In a corporate news release circulated recently, Ad Astra Labs says it's been given approval by Ottawa to make and sell cocaine, and that its intention is to support the demand for a safe supply of the drug, following BC's recent decriminalization of small amounts of hard drugs.
This, I think, is spinning out of control.
At the legislature Thursday, BC Liberal leader Kevin Falcon seized on the news as an example of why he thinks the NDP is doing decriminalization poorly.
The now companies are rushing to get involved in the manufacture of heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine, and I just asked the question, what in the hell is going on?
We all We all know someone who has struggled with issues around mental health and addiction.
Coincidentally, Premier Eby was making a big announcement in Vancouver about new funding for addiction treatment Thursday. And he appeared to have been blindsided by the news.
Are you aware of this project?
It is not part of our provincial plan. If Health Canada did in fact do this, they did it not only without engaging with the province, but without notice to us. So we will get answers for British Columbians about this.
We tried to do that as well, reaching out to the Federal Ministry of Health to see if they in fact gave out a cocaine production license in BC without looping in the Premier. No one from Ottawa responded in time for this report.
We're a Health Canada licensed standard processor nestled in the beautiful Fraser Valley of British Columbia.
We also tried to connect with Ad Astra, where a spokesperson said their CEO is not taking questions right now. But their news release says they're currently evaluating how their new cocaine venture fits into their business model. While BC's new hard drug decrim bill allows for users to have a certain amount, selling the drugs is still illegal. So it's unclear how any made-in-BC cocaine would reach its users. Paul Johnson, Global News.
And that's exactly how ESO operates, right? That confusion of pushing something, producing it, but yet it is unlawful to sell it. It doesn't make any sense, but that is how ESO operates. The confusion of ESO, man. You know, so let me jump into a couple of scriptures about this, man. This is in the book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 6. And I, which is John the Revelator, saw the woman, referring to America, you know, the mother harlot. Also mentioned over here, Mystery Babylon, the great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And look at San Francisco. you had. I also want to play that song. Like, you had Tony Bennett singing a song, singing about Tony Bennett, man. San Francisco, singing. San Francisco, totally destroyed, filthy, disgusting. Oh, Francisco is a faggoty place as well, man. Faggoty, faggoty, faggoty. My days. This is San Francisco today.
And this was something that is supposed to be a sedative used for large
and I
mammals,
made multiple videos,
horses.
man.
It's not even meant
People
to be
defecating on the streets, laying dead, drugs, syringes. This is San Francisco.
At this point, fentanyl,
This is San
opioids,
Francisco.
is it Tranq, is it Xylazine?
Hey, boy. So, and I saw the woman drunken of the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahawashi. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration, because how is America established? By the destruction and the slaughter of the saints, which are the Israelites. You know, and you're going to have martyrs, those that stood stiffly for the word of the Lord. You know, testifying the word of the Most High, not taking the mark of the beast. You're going to have prophets, apostles that died and that will die, you know, for doing the work of the Most High. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. You know, there was a time when you might have looked to America, you know, when they sing those songs. What is a song from Alicia Keys? New York, you know, even what is this, man? Frank Sinatra sang about it, man. You know, you got all these songs, man. You got all these songs, Frank Sinatra. New York, New York. Bigging it up. You know, making it seem the most beautiful place on this earth. But if you're looking at America right now, all those places is completely destroyed. Let's just play a piece of this, man.
York, these vagabond shoes are longing to astray. Right through the very heart of it, New York, New York. I want to wake up in a city that doesn't sleep and find I'm king of the hill, top of the...
Like, all these songs, but if you look at America, if you look at all these places, all these cities, it's over. The Murph, let's get that, man. All Murph is gone. Las Vegas, everything is finished. It's over. The book of Isaiah, chapter 24, verse... Let's start at verse 7. The new wine mourneth, the fine languisheth, all the merry-hearted do sigh. The mirth of tabret ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoice ended, the joy of the harp ceaseth. All is done, it's finished. You know, even the daughters of music, even the music, like, you had a moment in time. I personally prefer the 80s, before the 70s as well. You had tunes, you had music, you had singers, you had real vibe. You listen to the garbage that these people produce these days, you'd be like, this is the straight up garbage, man. Satanic garbage, man. It says, they shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. The city of confusion. And that's what it is. It is a bitter place. It is a place of confusion. It's broken down. It's going to be completely destroyed. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. There's a crying for wine in the street. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. It's gone. It's only mourning, crying, and of course, looking for a way to escape the pain and the agony that they experience day in, day out, day in, day out. If it is not that people are forced to work a 9 to 5, slaving day in, day out, you know, totally messed up. You got other people just homeless, they got nothing, doing drugs, trying to escape the madness that is taking place on this earth. The book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And you see these people mourning, man. People mourn, they cry. People are sick. People are being exposed onto all type of chemicals. You look at what is taking place in Ohio. How many train derailments have already taken place? These people are still being exposed onto all those chemicals, all that poison. The government doesn't care about them. These people really show you that they don't give a damn about the people in America, man. You know, and there used to be a time when they mainly targeted, you know, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Native Indians. But now all the people, you know, all the people are being completely destroyed by these globalists, man. It says in the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 10, arise ye, wake up and depart, leave America. You know, first off, if you want to leave America spiritually. Don't think that you can just escape America and then everything is going to be all right, because America is a trendsetter of wickedness on this globe. Everybody is walking in the footsteps of America. That's why you have the whole alphabet community, which stole the rainbow, being propagated all over the globe. You know, the normalization of the capital P, the normalization and the decriminalization of the capital Z, dealing with animals. You know, all these things we've been speaking about and is right now manifesting in front of you. So it says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. This is not your resting place. Many of our people might think like we're in America. You know, they might think about those songs of Frank Sinatra or Alicia Keys, New York. You know, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere, man. It's over, you know. The America is circling the drain, the terminal. It is almost dead. This is cancer next level stage. You know, there's no healing. There's no healing of America. It says because it is polluted, and it is polluted, man. Man, you got. Let me see if I can find it, man. Because I made a video, but let me not use this one because they block him from entering into America. So let's get this, man. Where we can search. Is it San Francisco? I'm typing it right. I covered this before. San Francisco. Let me see if we can find it, man. This is insane. It's insane. Drug overdose killed almost 4 times more people than. Go. San Francisco. Oh man. Look at that. San Francisco officially tasked with keeping street poop free, arrested for corruption. These people are just defecating on the sidewalks, laying there like this is, do you know how sick? San Francisco, knee deep in feces and needles, vows to ban disposable cups. It is a shitty place indeed. And I covered this. I still remember that I covered these type of articles, man. Years ago. Look at this, man. Drug addicts are now taking dumps in supermarkets. Do you know how disgusting this is, man? In the supermarket, man. God damn. Hey, America is finished, man. So it is polluted. Yes, it is polluted, man. It shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction. This place, that place, America, because I'm here in Europe. I'm in the Netherlands. But when I look at the Netherlands is actually like a mini version of America, man, till a certain degree. Because now here they have all that chemical weed being legalized, and they, this place is also very kind of different. It's kind of an experimental country, should I say. So the book of Isaiah chapter 1 verse 5, why should you be stricken anymore? Ye revolt more and more, the whole head is sick, the whole heart is faint. And that's the case with our people. So if you observe the history of our people, and who are our people, the Israelites, when you're talking about the Negroes, Latinos, and the Native Indians, they mainly been targeting our people. Back in the days, our people been mainly on the streets, addicted on drugs, using the crack, using the heroin, being just totally messed up. And they've been living in the ghetto, people using all type of violence and dope dealing and doing all those things, man. Just trying to maintain or to live or even to be convinced that they will escape the ghetto by doing this type of foolishness. It says, from the sole of the foot even unto the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. Literally, but also spiritually. With the ones that are using that Tranq. These people are using a drug that is causing for the rotting of the flesh inside of their body. Rotting if they don't get help, medical help, within an X time frame, their body parts will get amputated. Like, do you know how crazy this is? And these people are addicted. So there's no such thing like, if they don't come to us, then we cannot help them. So they're not gonna come to us, so we need to come to them. but there's not going to be aid. Do you know how much money? Do you know how much money? Because everything is about money. Do you know how much money will be pumped in the fact of taking care and trying to heal, trying to exercise those demons from those people that are addicted by all these drugs? That's going to cost a lot of money. And they don't want to pump money in the healing of the people. They want to pump money in the destruction of the people. That's why they will hand out syringes. You can come get this. Oh, you need help, you need this, you need that. You want to shoot up that heroin. You can go over here. Take as much as you want. Share with your friends. You know? But if somebody needs help, somebody wants to conquer his or her addiction, there's no place. They don't know where they should send you to. That says enough. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. There's no healing taking place, man. Hell is getting worse. Prices are rising. People are waxing worse, getting colder in their mind, more willing to do wickedness. The government is using people, because that is what is taking place. The question was even asked, who is behind the pushing of this? Well, we don't know. We still don't know. We know that's the government. The government produces this, gives it to certain people. These people are told to go on the streets to sell this stuff, and they receive money. They're getting paid to destroy and to make people addicted. That is what is taking place. That is what is taking place. And the people on the streets, they get addicted. You know, they start using that stuff, and then their body becomes susceptible towards it. So now they're going to look for ways to mix it so that they can experience that feeling from the beginning. Like, it's crazy, man. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 30 verse 7. And the Lord Yahawah thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies. Like I said, this was something that was happening with mainly our people. Now when you look around, you see these Edomites are dealing with opioids, the opioids crisis. Sitting there in their car, you know, laying there, passed out. One behind the driver, in the driving seat, and one in the passenger seat, and the child in the back, just sitting there, and their parents are just passed out, just gone, just gone. And I think it's funny, man, because it is beautiful. This is the Most High bringing judgment upon them, man. You know, let's get that, man. The book of Galatians. You know, because you're digging pits for people, and you know how they spoke. Oh, leave them blackies, leave those blackies in the hood, and let them kill each other, let them sell drugs towards each other, but let them not come into our habitat. This is our place. This is our clean place. Now you got them completely destroyed on the opioids. You know, many of them are using all type of psychotics, antidepressant, and all type of shit that they use because they messed up. The book of Galatians chapter 6 verse 7. Be not deceived, the Most High is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. That's why we're taking care of our people. That's why we make fits about these things. That's why we explain that everything that is taking place is spiritual. You know, even the drugs that you use, this drug that is being used to numb the pain or to forget or just to zone out and to escape reality. This drug is actually a gateway drug. It's opening you up and making you susceptible for the entering of all type of demons. And when these demons get in, they have a whole disco party inside of your body, inside of your temple, and they will not leave. You know, there's a party going on inside of your body. You know. And these demons demand that you will keep using. That's that hunger, that desire for more. You know, and there's not much that they can do. They may say like, oh, I want to stop this disease, like the disease, the flesh-eating disease, the rotting of the body, that their legs. Some of them have even at their legs, lost their arms, lost all type, vital organs, And what is it that they will say? Yeah, I want to stop, but it's not that easy. We know that it ain't that easy because you're dealing with demons, and not just one demon. This is a legion of demons. This is the exponential growth of demons that are having a party inside of a person's body, man. So it says, and let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season, in due time, we shall weep if we faint not. That's why we keep doing what we have to do for the Most High. We got to. So, the Lord thy power will put these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. So the Lord is actually taking these curses which were on our people, and he's also putting it right now on our enemies. That's why you see all these heathen nations are being smitten by this thing, man. Many Edomites totally destroyed. So I just want to jump quickly into the piece where it speaks about how this man also was possessed by a demon. It says in Mark 5 verse 1, and they came unto the other side of the sea, into the country of the Gadarenes. And when he was come out of the ship, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit. The unclean spirit is a demon. So there's a demon inside of that person. He was demonically possessed, who had his dwelling among the tombs, and no man could bind him, no, not with chains. Yeah, because you got those clips as well. I might as well find one clip of that Flakka, a Flakka attack. I want to show this, but they might say it's too graphic, so I'm not going to click on it. You can click on it here, the Flakka compilation, warning, disturbing scenes. You're going to see all type of horrible things. Like, I believe this looks like somebody that is this is blood. So, but you got these things. Oh, this one. I made a video also about this one. Come on, man. This is crazy. So you got people completely high by this synthetic drug, and as they are high by the synthetic drug, I'm not going to click on it because they already say it's warning. It's very disturbing and graphic, but you can click on it. I will put these links also in the comment section. But the things that you see as they're trying to stop, you see this person, he's holding up a laser, how you call that thing? A stun gun, right? A stun gun to shock him to the ground. And the thing that you're going to see when you're trying to prevent the person from charging towards you is that a stun gun is not going to work effectively against him, because there are a huge amount of demons inside of that person raging and forcing that person to charge towards you. So when you're trying to control a person like that, you're trying to bind them, you're trying to hold them still, they will have divine power. This is divine power by the way of these demons. They're not no ordinary people. That's why many clips you see five cops wrestling with one person to control them. One might say like, "Oh, these cops weak." No, no, yeah, most of them are weak. That's true, but when they are trying to control a person, one person, you got to understand that this is not no ordinary strength that is in this person. These demons are resistant. So, boom. So he was there, where is dwelling among the tombs, and no man could bind him, no, not with chains. As you know, that famous piece that is being displayed in the movie The Exorcism, in order to cast off that demon from a person, what is it that they do? They put the person on a bed, they tie their hands together from all the posts, from all the sides on the bed, because as soon as you demand, you charge, and you do it with authority, you force the demon to leave the host. The host is the body, to leave the host. And as you charge the demon to leave the host, the demon will resist because it needs a host. So the battle begins. You want it out, but the demon wants to stay. That's the battle that takes place. Because that he had been often bound with fetters and chains, and the chains had plucked asunder by him, and the fetters broken in pieces, neither could any man tame him. Yeah, because you got all type of level demons. You got low level demons and you got high level demons. And in this case, it's talking about a high level demon. When you deal with a demon that is taking over the body, yelling, screaming, cussing, having the strength to even rip those bands and those chains off, you're dealing with a high level demon. Demons that can cause a person to completely faint or to puke or to go crazy, So it says, and always night and day he was in the mountains and in the tombs, crying and cutting himself with stones, which you also see with these Gothics, man. Gothics also being dressed in black eyeshadow, black nail polish, black lipstick, black clothed, and most of the time they have a very pale skin. What is it that you see often with them as well? They got cuttings in their flesh, man. They cut their wrists. They burn themselves with cigarettes. This is all because of demons, man. It says, but when he saw Yahawashi afar off, he ran and worshipped him. Yeah, because the Lord is the second highest in command. These entities, they know who's in control. They know the Most High. What is that scripture in? Let's get that. I believe it is in 2nd Ezra. These entities know who the Most High is, and they know who the true men of the Lord are. And they bow down. Because that's how everything is established. Everything is established in order. 8. So bear with me. I thought it was okay, let me see. I thought it was here, but I might as well have to look it up quickly. Angel. Second Ezra, toch? Yeah, it's in 8, but we have to scroll a little bit. In the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 8 verse, starting at verse 19, and therefore hear my voice and understand my words, and I shall speak before thee. This is the beginning of the words of Ezra, before he was taken up, and I said, O Lord, thou that dwellest in the everlastingness, which beholdest from above things in heaven and in the air, whose throne is inestimable, whose glory may not be comprehended, before whom the hosts of angels stand with trembling. These angels bow down. Satan is also an angel, so Satan bows down and does the will of the Most High. Satan is not rebelling, fighting, and going up against any order of the Lord, which these wacky-tacky Christians may think. So, the same thing with demons, because a demon is also an angel, but it's a left-hand side angel. It's a worker. It's a higher level worker, belonging unto the Most High. Everything which they do is in line with the will of the Most High. They cannot do anything against the will of the Most High. That is what needs to be understood. Before whom the host of angels stood, stamped with trembling. They fear the Lord. And the second highest in command is the Redeemer. So they fear the Redeemer, and on this earth you got the men of the Lord, was the scriptures talking about in in Acts, what is it, 16 or 19, where it speaks about, we can just quickly get that, Acts 16. Acts 16, or is it Acts 19? Here, here's the woman also talking, 16 and 16. It came to pass, as we went to prayer, a certain damsel possessed with a spirit, an entity, a demon of divination met us. So this shows you that there are different spirits. As we're talking about a demon, you have an addiction demon. And this demon causes people to be addicted onto smoking cigarettes, smoking weed, smoking crack, doing heroin. You got all type of forms of demons, you know. And in this case, it's talking about a spirit, a demon of divination. This entity caused the woman to see or to understand or to receive answers concerning the future of somebody. You know, you got some medium sitting there, and this person will tell you, okay, you go over there, you're going to get this, you're going to meet this, and this will happen, or how about this, or, you know, that's by the way of a demon, an intelligence, you know. So, which brought her master much gain by soothsaying. So, her master received a lot of money by forecasting, by predicting things. The same followed Paul and us and cried, saying, these men are the servants of the Most High, Yahawah, which shew unto us the way of salvation. So, and it's correct, you know. So she told the truth. That entity knows the man of the Lord. These demons know you. They know who you are, you know, and that was being confirmed by what this demon actually mentioned through the damsel. And this did she many days. So it was really vexing, annoying, and this is what Paul did. But Paul, being grieved, turned and said to the spirit, I command. You see, this is commanding in authority. I command thee in the name of Yahawashi Mashiach to come out of her. Get out of her. Get out of her. And he, the spirit, the demon, came out the same hour. And when the master saw that the hope of their gain was gone, they caught Paul and Silas and threw them into the marketplace unto the rulers. Yeah, because you messed up that person's cash flow. So now we gotta grab these men and brought them to the magistrate, saying, these men, being Jews, doing exceedingly trouble our city, and teach customs which are not lawful for us to receive, neither to observe, being Romans, because you had to bow down unto the Roman king, and you were not allowed to do things which were going against their customs. You know, this is by the power of Yahawah, and the worshiping of Yahawah was not allowed. But that was not the point. The point is in 19. So, boom, here. Miracles at Ephesus. Verse 11, and the Most High wrought special miracles by the hands of Paul. So through Paul, the Most High worked miracles through Paul, so that from his body were brought unto the sick handkerchiefs or aprons, and the diseases departed from them, and the evil spirits went out of them by the way of handkerchiefs and aprons. Spirits been removed, people been healed. Do you know what type of power this is? And we're talking about right hand side power. This is not left hand side demonic power. You know, this is right hand side. This is healing. These are right hand side miracles wherewith people been exorcised of demons. You know, exorcisms took place only by the way of handkerchiefs, man. It says, then certain of the vagabond Jews, exorcists, took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits the name of the Lord Yahawashi, saying, we adjure you by Yahawashi, whom Paul preached. Don't take on yourself a certain position of thinking that you're going to do something while you're not in that position of doing it, because you're going to mess yourself up. And that is what happened with them. You know, if the Lord is not with you on that level, and you want to face a demon on a high level, you will be messed up. It says, and there were 7 sons of one Scepha, a Jew, and a chief of the priests which did so. And the evil spirit answered and said, Yahawashi, I know, and Paul I know, but who are you? So these demons know exactly who are truly the men of the Lord. You can't fake it to make it when you face these demons. This is no game. Understand that if you go up against this is a spiritual warfare. You either win or you lose. And if you lose, this is an example that can happen with you, man. And the man in whom the evil spirit was leaped on them and overcame them and prevailed against them, so that they fled out of the house naked and wounded there. That is still they escape. Because a spirit can also enter inside of somebody and take over that house. Now you're in a very, very messed up predicament, you know. That's why when you got people playing games like a Ouija board, trying to summon up spirits and think that it's fun, trying to do some things for thrill, you have no clue and no understanding of what you're calling upon yourself, or what you might even call and enter into your house. You know, some poltergeist starting to throw things around, and you will feel the presence of an entity in a house. You will feel it. You know, even if you're not spiritual, man, you will sense the presence of something in a building. You know, a spiritual person will sense it on a higher level, but even a person that is not spiritual, even a carnal man, is going to sense something, is going to feel something, is going to experience goosebumps, cold, or other things, man, difficulty with breathing, you know, headaches, the shifting of mood swings. Like, hey, these demons, man, and the poltergeist is a high level demon that can actually pick up things, can move chairs, move tables, throw pots and pans, you know, light up fire in the house, or whatever things, cause glass to combust into, you know, scatter into pieces. These are higher level entities, man, you know. So, but when he saw Yahawashi afar off, he ran and he worshipped him, and cried with a loud voice and said, What have I to do with thee, Yahawashi, thou son of the Most High? I adjure thee by the Most High that thou torment me not. He was begging, please don't torment me. For he said unto him, Come out of the man, thou unclean spirit, commanding, authority. And he asked him, What is thy name? And he answered, My name is Legion, for we are many. Many what? Many demons. Many demons. So when you go into Legion, it's going to explain how many demons it is talking about. How many demons is referred to a legion?
Strong's G 3003. Legion. Legion.
In the time of Augustus, seems to have consisted of 6,826, around 6,100 foot soldiers and 726 horsemen. You know, so we almost can think about 7,000, around 7,000, to sum it up like that. The book of 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 13. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. All these things are not no new thing. We know about addictions. We've seen these things. You've seen crackies. You've seen homeless people. You've seen people laying on the streets. You've seen people laying on a bench. You know. You've seen these things. But you haven't seen this type of madness. This type of drugs. This type of Flakka. The way how people are completely gone, zombied, standing, hanging, and truly like in a demonic way. You have this pose, right? Demonic possession stance. I hope it pops up. Demonic possession stance. Let's see if it pops up. It's not popping up. Demonic possession. You know how a person is completely bending completely to the back like this, but then on the standing, and you might think like, how is it even possible the person is not falling or tumbling and you know, because they are possessed. That is the reason. They are possessed. You trying to do something like that, you know, unless you're turnstile, how you call it, the gymnast, acrobat, you might do certain things, you know. But let me see, I believe it was this Billie Eilish, demonic possessed Billie, what is her name, Billie Eilish. She did that post. Look at that, man. When you look at it, you already understand that you should be a person may be known by him or her attire, you know, your facial expression, the way how you stand, the way how you represent yourself is displaying a lot. This one, let's show a good picture. This one, like this you can watch this. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. What am I doing? What did you say? Did you just call me a nigga? I said bigger. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to remain stupid. But this is not the one that you can see good. Man. But you see the picture, you know what I mean, man. I'm not gonna continue looking for a good picture, man, because this is just madness. Why did they? Oh boy. Hey, this is so demonic, man. She is wicked, man. This chick. Man, and just the idea that a lot of people truly follow and they really think her to be artistic, talented. You know, they idolize her. Well, she's straight up demonic, man. She is just straight up demonic. I believe this is her brother, if I'm not wrong. But let me leave this wicked bitch, man. The point is already made. The wicked bitch. So people are waxing worse on this globe, man. So I have to wrap things up because I see it's always 3 o'clock. So in the book of Luke chapter 11 verse 24, when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through the dry place, seeking rest, and finding none, he said, I will return unto my house, whence I came out. This is it. This is from a position when you have a certain spirit, a demon, and we all had these demons on us. You know, you had spirits that blocked us from obtaining the truth, from believing, from knowing who we are, from doing what we're doing today. And then you have all type of, you know, fleshly, carnal demons that might be addiction demons, you know, other demons that are blocking you or withholding you or pulling you and causing you to do things. You know, it says, so when you cast that spirit out, there's a desire of the spirits to return and to enter inside of you again. Because that's that fight. It says, and when he cometh, he findeth it swept and garnished, because you casted it out. You cleanse your body. It's talking about your temple. Your body is that place. That's why I made the comparison also. You got certain people have demons inside of them, and there's a whole disco going on. Parties dead, these demons jumping, running all over the place and fighting more and more. If you use this drug, if you use these drugs, there's a whole party going on in somebody's body. It says, then goeth he and taketh to him 7, there's a number of completion, 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter in and they dwell there. And the last state of the man is worse than the first. So you got certain people that conquer certain addictions, but when they again fall back, I call it, in Dutch we say recidive. Backsliding, right? I think it's backsliding. Yeah, backsliding. So if you slide back, if you slide back, you might get the same demon, but that demon is coming back in your body a bit more and making it more crazy than it was before. You see, that is from the perspective of somebody that is capable of casting a demon out. But you have these people, these addicted persons, they don't cast any of these spirits out. They just invite more and more and more and more and more. The party is going on over there. It's popping. It's popping over there. So the book of Jeremiah, this is the last verse. Jeremiah 51 verse 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not caught off in her iniquity, sin upon sin. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Leave, step out of Babylon spiritually. Leave off from the things that are being pushed, propagated, normalized towards you, and start walking in the ways of the Most High. Are you dealing with an addiction? Start fasting, start praying unto the Lord. What's the scripture saying? This one coming out by fasting and pray. Come on, man. Okay. Yes, I got it. This is in Matthew. Oh, it's here. I'm getting caught. I have to pick this one up. So come. We're gonna quickly finish this last piece. So this is one of those occasions where they actually try to redeem or to cast the spirit from a person that was also possessed. It says, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is a lunatic, and so vexed, for often he falleth into the fire and oft into the water. And I brought him to thy disciples, and they could not cure him, because they were not on that high level of commanding the demon to come out of that person. Then Yahawashi, they lacked faith. Then Yahawashi answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him hither to me. And Yahawashi rebuked the devil, and he departed of him, and the child was cured from that very hour. Then came the disciples to Yahawashi apart and said, why could we not cast him out? And Yahawashi, what am I doing? And Yahawashi said unto them, because of your unbelief, your lack of faith, your belief, your faith in the Most High, your faith of believing that you're capable of doing this was lacking. For verily I say unto you, if you have faith as a grain of a mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Howbeit this kind goeth not out but by prayer and fasting. So when you go into the fasting is the affliction of the flesh. The afflicting of the flesh, which is actually the withholding of the body of receiving food and drink, is contributing onto the empowerment of the spirit. You know, the connection with you and the Most High is being empowered by making a sacrifice by the way of withholding yourself from eating and drinking. You know, and you got to do this, you know, at least one day to truly experience the effects of fasting. You also have intermittent fasting, where you got, you know, some, you know, do it 12 hours throughout the day, don't eat. You know, they choose to eat when they start eating in, you know, in afternoon or something. You know, but you gotta at least do it of fasting for 24 hours to truly experience the benefits, you know. So Jeremiah 51 verse 7. So it's a time of vengeance, and you see the vengeance takes place by the way of what? The sword, but also by the way of pestilence. These entities, you know, they're spirits created for vengeance. In the book of Sirach 39, around, what is it, 28? They're spirits created for vengeance. So it said Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of a wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go, every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. You see? So we're in a time of judgment, we're in a time of witnessing the downfall of this wicked empire and the establishment of our kingdom, you know, and it takes place by the way of taking us up, raising us, and taking down the rulers and everybody that is actually in line with this wicked empire. So this is what I quickly wanted to bring out. Shalom.